Good Monday afternoon to you. Sport and Order is on the air, and good to be with you today as we are one day away for perhaps crowning an NBA champion. That's on the docket today, but we got a bunch for you, and yes, wait till the end. There will be a Space Jam question because, I mean, how could there possibly not? Look at these two superstars here. Sean Daly on the fly out of our video team. There was perhaps a slight technical difficulty today. Doug Russell, we'll see you next week. But Sean, welcome in here, my friend. Good to see you.
How's it going, Carman?
Ready
to go.
How many TikTok followers have you now built us up to?
Around 13,000. We're going up there still.
13,000. I mean, if you're not following FanSided on TikTok and everywhere else for that matter, you're making a mistake. And of course, if you're not waking up in the morning and putting on Mully and Haugh and listening to David Haugh at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever time you wake up, you're doing it wrong. At David Haugh, of course, on Twitter, 670 The Score at Chicago. D-Haugh, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Carm. I never feel any cooler than when I'm talking to you.
I mean, that's why I love you. Let's be honest. Those type of compliments, that's when I sleep well at night. I'll be thinking about that about 9:42 after my warm glass of milk and getting ready for the NBA Finals tomorrow, which is where we're starting. 7 questions on the board. First to 4 will win the Sport and Order crown for this Monday. We've never had a sweep. I don't think we'll have one today. But yes, you got to get to 4 to win Sport and Order. 30 seconds to answer each question. And we do start with the NBA. And I'm looking at the Phoenix Suns, who, yes, I'll admit it, I thought they were going to win the NBA Finals in 5 games, but now they are 1 game away from going out. And I'm asking the question, if they do end up losing, despite this phenomenal season, getting past the Lakers, getting to the finals, but they were up 2-0. If they don't close it out, David Haugh, you'll go first here. Will their season be considered a failure? What do you think?
Absolutely not. That's a ridiculous premise. Come on. Look, nobody expected the Suns to be here. This was going to be the LeBron James, Anthony Davis party. The Lakers were going to romp, if not them, the Clippers. The Suns, because of Monty Williams' coaching, Chris Paul's leadership, Booker's emergence, and Ayton's being the player that nobody thought he would be, they shouldn't be here, but they are. And if they lose to the Bucks, even if they lost at home, there's not going to say that it's not a referendum on their season, yes or no, success or failure. This is a good season in Phoenix, regardless of what happens tomorrow night.
A very fair, yes, you've had a good season, but end of the day, is it a failure, Sean?
I mean, I think it is from a competitive standpoint. I think the most competitive players, superstars, will tell you championship or bust. And if it's not a championship, it's a bust. Also, looking comparatively to their last finals trip, didn't they go down 0-2 to the Bulls? So, like, the pressure was off immediately. This time they were up 2-0. So I think also you thought you got over the CP3 injury bug. I think it's a failure only because of how this series started. I'd say coming in, I'd say no, but they should have had it in the bag.
Rebuttal, Haugh, go ahead.
I sense pandering to the judge because of the Bulls dynasty reference. Come on.
It's a tremendous pander, and I love the fact that we get to talk about 93 when MJ and company waltzed into Phoenix, went up 2-0. Should have won that series in 5. That's okay. Carm got arrested, by the way, trying to go to Game 4. Not a story that we'll tell on Sport and Order, but perhaps on the podcast. Sean Daly, yes, you're on the border. Look, you're up 2-0 in the finals. You've got a home game, Game 5. You can't blow this series. You looked like the better team too. What's going on in Phoenix? And Chris Paul, this will be the 4th time that you're up 2-0 in a series and you lose. No one's done that in NBA history. Right now you're tied with Blake Griffin. Ouch. I think Chris Paul, if he was on the show right now, would tell you that it's a failure. So that's why I'm leaning mostly to Sean on this one. 1-0, a very rough failure, but still nonetheless a failure. All right, we go to the Olympics, and breaking news, by the way, I guess Zach LaVine is in the protocol as well, so he's not going to be playing in Tokyo. But hey, it's been just a rough go. So they're 2-2. They did supposedly build some momentum coming back to beat Spain and Ricky Rubio. Bradley Beal not playing, Jeremy Grant. A lot of challenges for this team, and of course you're going to get players from the finals, but they're probably going to be tired. Will the U.S. bring home the gold? Sean, what do you think?
I think they will, and not that I think that losing Zach LaVine is a good thing, but one of the problems I see for this team is kind of finding their roles. with so many good players, with so many good scores, you kind of have to like fall into place sometimes, and you don't know who's going to be the best leading scorer, whether it's KD or Dame or Jason Tatum. But now I think with the help of McGee in the middle, I think Bam and guys like Draymond will kind of fall into place. I'm not really too worried about them losing to a very good Australia team. And at least now they've kind of built some momentum and beat two very good squads traditionally in Argentina and Spain.
Still maintaining the confidence. David Haugh, what do you think?
Ricky Rubio was old enough to play against the first dream team. I don't know if I'm going to put much stock in that victory. I am bummed out about the Zach LaVine news. I am being provincial meatball Chicago guy. I cannot believe he's going to be out, and I feel so bad for him because he was just starting to take a step forward, replacing Bradley Beal in that role. And now I don't know what to expect. I do think, okay, grudgingly, if I have to pick yes or no, check a box, they will win the gold. Won't be easy. And I think there's a big fat asterisk attached to if Kevin Durant or Dame Lillard have to go in the protocol as well, all bets are off.
So Sean is super confident. David is less confident.
No confidence.
No confidence. Okay.
Very little confidence.
Yeah.
But
So
I'm saying yes, because I'm American. I'm a patriot, Carm.
Hey, listen, pride of country. I got it. I guess I lean more towards the no confidence here. This is my biggest confidence right now is Pop, but Pop is like surly Pop right now. And I could see him at the end of this, just talking about how it's totally unfair to these guys to put anything on them because they didn't win. So I think this is not looking good at all right now. And by the way, we talked to Bradley Beal last week, and it was brought up with the vaccine and the testing, and it was an interesting answer. And now we're sitting where they're sitting right now in more trouble. 1-1. Hopefully, they don't lose the rest of the squad here as we go back to the Milwaukee Bucks, and one win away from the first NBA championship since 1971. That was Oscar. That was Lou Alcindor. If the Bucks do close out the Suns, so let's look at Giannis. Has he or will he have elevated himself to the same level of, I'm saying, current LeBron, and perhaps past KD, past Luka, and onto a whole nother level here? Because really the Bucks are not a super team. David Haugh, you're up.
Carm, Luka, with all due respect, just finished his third season. Giannis won 2 MVPs. This is a guy that already, you could say, has surpassed Luka. As much as I love him and what he represents about the future and the present, I think that diminishes what Giannis already is in the league. And I think he's the most humble superstar, but he is that. He is a superstar. He is on the verge of something historic. When they win tomorrow night, and I think it's a matter of when, not if, he is going to enhance his NBA legacy and become the stuff of Milwaukee legend, only matched by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Al McGuire, and Bratwurst.
I love an Al McGuire ad. Just let's throw in the Brat stop too. All right, straight legend if he does it, I guess, in Bucks territory, and fair enough. And you're probably right. He maybe is past Luka. You didn't quite give the LeBron take. What do you think here, Sean? Is he about to elevate himself?
I think he's going to elevate himself over Luka for sure. Maybe not KD or LeBron, but I think he definitely reaches legend status, especially because of the moments. We're looking about moments. When LeBron beat Golden State, yes, it was 3-1. He came back, but he had the block against the backboard. With Giannis, you got the oop for the win. What was it, last night, 2 nights ago? And then, of course, you had the block on DeAndre Ayton's alley-oop. So I think those are just like little snapshots in time that we'll never forget.
Wow. It's true that Chris Paul trying his best to reach out and grab him and stop what was it was a risky pass by Drew Holiday, but it all worked out. I guess you put him closer to LeBron than David did, which I think if you could only have one player for next year, Giannis or LeBron, you might take Giannis at this point.
Next year? Yeah, you take Giannis. LeBron's what? How old is LeBron?
He's still LeBron.
At this stage of his career, you take Giannis 100 times.
I think you take Giannis. Well, I think Daly leaned into it a little bit better. So 2-1, Sean Daly with the lead here as we go to question 4. We're going to baseball now. We got 2 baseball questions for you. And the fire sale in Chicago is for real. That seems to be the the big story that the Cubs are selling. Off goes Jock Peterson, and we all know that Craig Kimbrell's going somewhere, so I'm taking him off the board. But if you're another team, who are you calling the Cubs about? Who do you want to make a deal for? A lot of guys on the board here. Chris Bryant, Javi Baez. You could go into the bullpen. You can go a lot of ways here. Sean Daly, who are you calling for?
I mean, personally, as a Phillies fan, I think we talked before about this. It's got to be Chris Bryant. He showed the ability to play a lot of different positions, and you might be able to get him at a discount just because he's had two, down for him seasons in a row, his worst on-base percentage, his worst slugging percentage of his career. Maybe you could kind of convince yourself that a change of scenery would help that. And it kind of would get the fans going. His name has some star power to it. You could sell some jerseys. So I think all that plays into him probably being the best buy, hoping for Philly.
Hey, I like that. Bring him to the team you root for. I'm a big KB guy. David, who are you calling for?
Well, if you are shopping in the Chris Bryant department store, it's one of those things where you don't ask what the price is, because if you can't afford it, you shouldn't have to ask because it's going to be expensive. And I think that you're asking about Chris Bryant because of his value at 5 different positions. Versatility equals value. So he is definitely the most valuable Cub out there on the market. And I think that goes without saying. But if I'm looking for a bargain, if I'm looking for the best buy and I'm bargain shopping, Ryan Tepera, Andrew Chafin in the bullpen give you that arm that you need. And some teams just are looking for that bullpen piece. And the Cubs have a couple of them that are pretty affordable.
Wow. You had me until you said Ryan Tepera.
What?
I don't,
How did the numbers? Watch the tape. Come on, man.
Is it something was going? All of a sudden, you couldn't have that sticky stuff, and Ryan Tepera came up with a mysterious injury. How did the guy just disappear out of nowhere? Guy, you can't get dude can't get anyone out. I wouldn't trade for Ryan Tepera in a complete desperate situation. Andrew Chafin, I would take. Sean, you're taking a 3-1 lead here because Haugh's buying into the spin rate and not paying attention to what's going on here.
You can't get out of your own Cub fan bias to get an objective evaluation.
I'm paying attention. Spin rate is a thing here. Lucas Giolito on the south side, I'm a little concerned here. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, he was terrible in that 1-run game he pitched against the Astros Saturday.
Hey, okay, right. Proven the doubters wrong. That's a fair take. So, okay, question 5. Outside of the north side of Chicago, who definitely is going to be, there's going to be news coming from the Cubs going down to the deadline. Who will be the biggest name traded before the deadline at the end of the month? David, who do you see getting moved?
I think you could talk about Joey Gallo. I think people are going to overpay for him. I think you could talk about some other names potentially in the mix, Starling Marte maybe. But I think that if I were shopping intelligently and I were looking at big names for affordable prices, I would look at Minnesota, either Jose Barrios or Nelson Cruz. They're going to be changing teams potentially, and they're going to be difference makers in the pennant race with the right mix on the right team. And I think the Twins may look at their disappointing season, one of the most disappointing teams in baseball, and see what they can get for those two guys. And I think they're going to get a lot.
It has been a rough year in Minnesota. Sean, you got any big names on the move?
Yeah, I think I'd have to say Matt Scherzer from the Nats. They're really bad, even compared to a really bad division. He's aging. He's almost 37 years old. For a power pitcher, that's usually not very good. Washington already has 2 long contracts on the books that didn't age well in Strasburg and Corbin. And, if you're looking at it from a fan's perspective, they've let icons go before in Harper, and it worked out pretty well. So I think it's Scherzer.
I would not be surprised if Washington says goodbye to Max, but I think that there is some winning talent up in Minnie that for whatever reason has gone south here. So, and also they're obviously in huge sell mode here. So there could be a big home run hit there. And David Haugh knows the Twins well because they've come to Chicago and beat the White Sox for year upon year. 3-2, Haugh, you get the pointer. Staying alive. Let's see if you can nail down a hockey question here, which the NHL expansion draft is this coming Wednesday. Lot of big names available here. Welcome to hockey, Seattle and the Seattle Kraken. I'm wondering who you're selecting with your number 1 pick in the NHL expansion draft. Sean, let me see the hockey knowledge.
Well, I would start this off by saying not the biggest hockey fan, but what I do know is size and pedigree. I would say Owen Power is a defenseman out of Michigan. He's big. He's 6'6", 220, and he's skilled and powerful. So I think it'd probably be pretty easy. Pretty good on skates. Has good instincts. The pace he played out of Michigan's on par with the NHL. So I'd say that's probably my first pick.
Go blue out of nowhere. David Haugh, what's your hockey knowledge on this one?
And the expansion draft?
Yes.
For the Kraken, I'm just impressed you know how to spell Kraken, Carm.
Thank you.
I also think this is a no-brainer. Carey Price, this is the method that you follow. Carey Price is the goal you get to legitimize your hockey operation. He has family in the area. His wife's family is from the Seattle area. Carey Price makes you a legitimate team the way that Marc-Andre Fleury did for the Las Vegas Knights. First year they went to the Stanley Cup final. They were runner-up. This, even though he's expensive, he makes $10.5 million, 5 years left on his deal. It's worth the investment. You want to get people excited about hockey in Seattle. This would do it, Carey Price.
Carey Price is a name that I know incredibly well. So, and I like that you're throwing out big goals here for Seattle. Look at what Vegas did. They came right in and they were instantly in the mix. The NHL is trying to set it up that way. They don't want expansion teams to be struggling for years on end. The Kraken can certainly be a playoff team next year. Go big or go home. Carey Price makes a whole lot of sense. So we're tied up 3 apiece as it all comes down to my favorite question of the day, which I just wrote about 10 times in different ways because I was having so much fun constructing it. But the word on the street is that LeBron's version of Space Jam is just straight brutal. It is not as good as the original. It's way too long. Skip Bayless had to eat popcorn for too many minutes to enjoy himself his Space Jam 2. So the logical question here is this the final culmination that LeBron will never catch up to the greatest player to ever play anything in Michael Jeffrey Jordan? David Haugh, is this the final nail in the coffin?
Boy, this is a weak attempt to affirm your long-held belief that Michael Jordan is the greatest at everything ever. Although you might have a point here. From what I see of the trailers, this version of Space Jam not as good as Jordan's. I think that now we have to expect LeBron can do nothing else except for maybe try to get Will Smith and Tom Cruise for the next movie that he makes, because he believes in super teams, and that would be a super cast. So that's his next step, because this movie doesn't measure up to the Jordan one.
Super team, super cast. We had Larry Bird, we had Bill Murray. Well, this is a super cast. Maybe that was the key ingredient here. Sean, is this the final nail in the coffin for LeBron?
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, LeBron only scored like 4 buckets in this whole game. Jordan scored like 26 against the Monstars. In this current new version, Lola Bunny's the team MVP. She played far better than LeBron. He got a halftime boost from his son, who at least has some young legs. Jordan got a boost from Bill Murray. And I'm spoiler alert. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but he lets Bugs Bunny die at the end. He leaves the serververse and he lets Bugs die. That was the nail in the coffin for
Bugs
me.
dies? No.
You've seen the movie?
I did my homework on this one, Carm.
Wow.
I mean, so you haven't seen it, but you did your homework. You've read everything about. Wow. I mean, we just learned that Bugs died. I don't know where to go from here. LeBron let Bugs die. Daly, I think I have to make you the winner here on short notice, coming off the bench with this level of knowledge. I don't think there's no way I could give Haugh the point with
that. I think the spoiler disqualifies him. I mean, come on.
I was debating that one too. Like, he just ruined the movie for everybody.
Kids cannot watch this segment. They can't log on because they don't want to see how the movie ends.
They had the whole weekend.
Christmas just ended. It's over. And our off the bench Sean Daly takes home the crowd today. Congratulations. David, would you like to file a motion with the
I'd
sport
file
orders?
an appeal if it mattered, Carm, but I don't think that it would matter because you'd be judging and reviewing the appeal. So this is totally rigged, and I'm not ever coming on again. That's all.
No, you can't do that. Once you're in, you are contractually obligated.
I'll do it again as long as there are 2 hockey questions next time.
So you got it. Double puck for you. Daly, congratulations, pal. I know it's been a long road to victory, but you got there today.
Congrats, Sean. Well done.
Yeah, long road. I just want to give a shout out to my favorite sport that is going to become my favorite sport again, which is Olympic swimming, starting up this weekend. I don't like swimming, but as soon as the Olympics start, I can't get enough of it.
All right. Hey, David Haugh, what are people going to hear on 670 The Score tomorrow or any day when they tune in?
Oh, we got a big day tomorrow. Tom Thayer's in for Mullet, but we're going to have a lot of fun talking little Bears. They got a doubleheader on the White Sox south side today, the Cubs and Cardinals tonight. Who's going to be the next to go with the fire sale, the Jed Hoyer yard sale? Let's wait and see. But yeah, that's 5 to 9 every day, 670thescore.com.
And follow David on Twitter at David Haugh. Sean, follow you as well wherever you do your stuff. And check out FanSided's TikTok. It is just absolutely amazing. You'll love it. Carman on TikTok is great too. For all your LeBron Jordan conversations, I'm there right there for you. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all the help today. For everyone, sincerely appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.